In your reading response journal, you're going to answer the questions about lines 68 through 74 of Act 3, Scene 3 from Romeo and Juliet. The questions you will be answering are: who are the characters? Which characters are the main characters? What do the main characters want to accomplish? What do the main characters do in response to the problem? What conflict or problem do the main characters encounter? How does the conflict resolve itself? The goal of this activity is that you're going to be writing a summary of these lines. And summaries are a way of demonstrating understanding. They are a brief statement of the main or most important points of a text, a discussion, or your understanding of a topic, concept, idea, or issue. When you summarize a text, it is best not to include personal opinions. Rather, you should describe what happened as factually as possible while leaving out any unimportant details. You will have 5 minutes to answer these questions in your reading response journal. Using your answers to the questions, you will now write a summary of lines 68 through 74 of Act 3, Scene 3 from Romeo and Juliet in your reading response journal. You will have 5 minutes to complete this activity. Now we're going to continue doing the same thing that we just did in the previous activity with another set of lines. In your reading response journal, you're going to answer the questions about lines 118 through 168 of Act 3, Scene 3 of Romeo and Juliet. Again, you're going to answer these questions. Who are the characters? Which characters are the main characters? What do the main characters want to accomplish? What do the main characters do in response to the problem? What conflict or problem do the main characters encounter? How does the conflict resolve itself? And then, you'll have 5 minutes to complete this activity. Now, using your answers to the questions, you will write a summary of lines 118 through 168 of Act 3, Scene 3 of Romeo and Juliet, and you will locate imagery used in these lines in your reading response journal. You will have 5 minutes to complete this activity. Now, independently, you will review Act 3, Scene 3 from Romeo and Juliet. You will use the text theme understanding tool to determine and analyze the meaning of the text. You will record your thinking and relevant supporting evidence on the Act 3, Scene 3 section of your text theme understanding tool. You will need to be sure to include the appropriate citation for recorded evidence. That means the act, scene, and line numbers. As you're working through this activity, I need you to think about the following. What in general is the work about? What are its topics? What particular comment on or view of the work's topics does it present or suggest? How are the themes in the work revealed and developed through its structure, setting, plot, characterization, and literary devices? How do the themes in the work relate to the human experience, society, or history? You will have 5 minutes to complete this activity. Before viewing Where's Romeo, I want you to read the brief statement about the artist to approach the text. William Hatherell painted 22 watercolors to illustrate an edition of Romeo and Juliet published by Hodder and Stoughton in 1912. This image, titled Where's Romeo, comes from Act 3, Scene 3. Now you're going to look at the image. As you do, I want you to consider the reading focus. Describe the details of this painting, including characters, placement of the characters, and the colors used. Also, as you're looking at this painting, I want you to think about the following. Which characters are in this image? Where are the characters located in the image? What colors are used in this image? You will have 5 minutes to complete this activity. Now you're going to answer the question to react to Where's Romeo. You will write your answer in your reading response journal. You will support your response with evidence from the image. The questions that you will be answering are: what details are important in this image? What colors are used? Why do you think those colors were chosen? You will have 5 minutes to answer these questions in your reading response journal. Now you're going to write your response to the question to evaluate the effects of Where's Romeo. You will write your response in your reading response journal. You will support your response with evidence from the text. The question that you will be answering is: how does this image use its composition to reflect both the plot and the tone of the scene? As you're answering this question in your reading response journal, I want you to think about the following. What is the significance of the placement of the characters? Why are specific colors used in specific areas of the painting? What could these colors symbolize? For additional help, you might want to look at the Mood Reference Guide, the Irony Reference Guide, and the Symbolism and Motifs Reference Guide. You will have 5 minutes to complete this activity. I am now going to hand out a blank piece of white paper and a package of crayons. Each person will draw an illustration of a scene from any scene of the play that we have read so far. You will want to be sure to label which act and scene number you are illustrating. You may use Hatherell's painting as an example. If you do not finish the assignment in the next 10 minutes, which I doubt you will, it is going to be part of your homework assignment. Prior to reading the text, you're going to answer the questions in your reading response journal. What happened prior to this scene? Look over the scene. What characters are in these scenes? What do you predict will happen in these scenes? The scenes that we're talking about are scenes 4 and 5 of Act 3. You will have 5 minutes to answer these previewing questions in your reading response journal. For homework, you are going to listen to Act 3, Scenes 4 and 5 at least twice. When you are done reading, you will answer the questions in your reading response journal. How do the events in these scenes develop conflict within the play? Congratulations! You have completed Section 3, Lesson 4 of the Romeo and Juliet unit. In this lesson, you determined how imagery is used within Act 3, Scenes 2 and 3, to represent characters' emotions and internal conflicts. And you analyzed the representation of tone and plotted a key scene in a visual text.